In my previous video, I explained this thing that it doesn't matter if you're having the good time or bad time in your life. You just have to keep pushing, and I told you that the only thing that is going to like guarantee that you may achieve, like may go back to those good times, is you taking the action, no matter what are the circumstances, basically. And in this video I want to share with you my mindset, what I always have, and what is keeping me, I mean I can easily say that it is keeping me alive, and I will explain that in a second. But let's start from the beginning, right, as things should be. So the mindset that I have is, first of all, I recorded a video about it, but I do have to make sure that I am aware that I'm not special, right? I am just an ordinary human being. That is the first thing that you have to understand. Now, when you understand that, you can actually see yourself. You probably have played different games and all of that stuff, and I don't want to tell you that you should see yourself as a main character in a game. What I'm doing is I'm seeing myself as one of the many soldiers, like one unit, right? If you have played any kind of strategy games, for me it was Battle for the Middle Earth. Like there was this game, I think it was like released in 2004, something like that. So basically, like obviously this was the Lord of the Rings universe, and you're like choosing these factions. So for example, Mordor or Isengard, and you're playing, and you had to record units. And especially if you're playing Mordor, you would get like those orcs, right? Orcs were actually useless. I mean, they were literally free to produce, and obviously they were weak, just in the movies, just like in the movies, right? They were absolutely shit, and they costed no money, and the only useful thing that you could do with them is to spam them to annoy your opponent, basically. So I see myself kind of like this little orc, right? Like this orc from Mordor. Why? Because now when you have this attitude, but it's also different because you don't want to self-hate yourself, right? It's not about hating yourself and thinking that you're actually useless. You have to find this balance. But essentially, I'm seeing myself as one of those useless units, like one single unit that is not important in terms of the entire game, right? Because no one will remember that one orc from the entire unit combined from like 30 orcs when it dies. It actually doesn't even count, because then you can regenerate those units and all of that stuff. So it's not that important. You won't remember about a single orc from your army, right? When you have like 16 units of combined with like 30 orcs in each unit, you won't remember about that one orc. So it's not important what happens with that orc that you have. And that is how I see myself. I see myself as one of those orcs. So because that's true, like if I die tomorrow, my family will notice, my friends will notice, but in terms of the entire world, nothing will change, basically. I mean, in some statistics, maybe, but like I don't think anyone counts like the actual specific numbers, so that even my death wouldn't be noticed by anyone else than my family and friends. So I'm just like this orc. I'm not special, I'm not important. And so when you understand that, I know it may sound harsh and like as if I hate myself, and as if I'm not appreciating myself and not like loving myself for the actions that I take every single day. But it's not that. As I told you, you have to find this golden spot, right? this balance. But because I'm seeing that, like what you do in the strategy game when things go down, you recruit more different units. You keep recruiting. Like if you lose this one orc, it doesn't really matter. You will just produce one more, replace this orc, and just keep going. And that is the most important thing. So if I have bad times and if something is not going as I plan, I just keep going. I do not like say GG and leave the game and basically lose, because then, and that's why I told you that this mindset literally I can easily tell that it saves my life. Because if I would be like, well, it was going okay, but right now I'm not seeing it, so I'll just give up and do everyone knows what. I wouldn't be there, I wouldn't be recording this video. That's not the point. I'm trying to think of my life as if I'm playing this strategy game, so I'm only a unit, right? I'm a unit, but my whole life consists not only from me, but like from all my environments, of all my friends, all of that stuff. All these I like, they are like playable things that you have around you. So for example, in this game you are able to build like let's say a farm, right, to get you money to buy new units, or barracks to produce those units. So even though you didn't control them, like actually, you couldn't tell the blacksmith to create this kind of weapon. It was just working automatically and giving you money. You couldn't tell the farmer to seed plants different specific kind of vegetable. It was all happening automatically, and it didn't really matter what was going on. The only thing that mattered was that you were getting money from that. And so it's kind of the same, because you cannot control what your friends do. You can only like influence their actions in real life to some degree, but other than that you cannot decide for them. You cannot manipulate, you cannot control them, you cannot decide for them, right? So your friends are kind of like this asset, like they are equivalent to this farm, so they are giving you some benefits, but you are not playing them, right? You are not playing as them. You're playing as yourself. Your unit is the thing that you control, but it's not all that you have. So I'm just a unit, right? And my life consists of not only me. I'm just a unit, as I said, but I will repeat myself, but my life consists of all those, my home, my family, my friends. All of these are my kind of structures and like assets that I have, and all of this combined is my life, is my game, right? So if I have bad times, me personally, it just means that I have weak units in my base. I have to produce better units. Now, how can I produce better units? I can build more farms, for example. So you can translate it into this scenario. So for example, in game, like right in this battle for the Middle Earth, if you wanted better units and more better units, more of the better units, you had to build more farms and upgrade them so that they would give you more money. Now, if I have bad times, which means I have weak units, and I want better units, which means I want better times in my life. Let's say I'm depressed, right? What I can do? If we'll say that friends are equivalent to farms in that video game, well, if I wanted better units, I had to make better, more farms and upgrade them. If I want better times in my life, I need to get more friends, or maybe not like get more friends in terms of quantity, but get like one additional high quality friend, or just spend more time with friends, because maybe I'm depressed because like for the past couple of weeks I was home alone and didn't socialize at all. That may be the reason. But like, you have to understand that there's always a move to make, just like in chess. There's always a move you can make. If I would if I would lose this one unit of orcs that I had, I wouldn't just press like surrender and leave the game, right? I would just produce more units, or I would even like save some money to buy better units, not orcs because they die quickly, but like maybe some other units. I remember I loved Muma kills, so I would just save for them, right? And I would just go with the most powerful unit in the game. The same goes right now. If in my life I am feeling bad personally, it means I have bad units. I'm repeating myself, I know, but I want you to understand. It means I have bad units. So I have to either buy better units or make more of them or anything like that, because my offense is weak. It's this philosophy. If I have if my friends I do not have a lot of friends and I feel lonely, I have to make more, because in game, if we say that farms are equivalent to friends in real life, in game, if I didn't have enough money, I had to build more farms. So in real life, if I am feeling lonely, I have to socialize more, I have to make more friends and all of that stuff. So what is this mindset? This mindset, why it is powerful, I think, because it takes a look at your life, not in the terms of you. Like, it's not with this mindset, you are not seeing yourself as the person who is living your life. You know what I mean? Your life is not only you. Your life is you and all of these assets that you have, all the entire environment of yours, your friends, your family, and every other thing. I just don't want to overcomplicate that. I want to make it as simple as possible. So now, if you are not working out, if you don't perform your task properly, which means you're too weak, basically. I know it may sound like harsh, but that's the point of it. If you're broken, if something is not right with you, you are only one of the many assets that you have. Maybe there are other assets that are working out actually, and they are good, which means you can use those assets to improve other things that you have in your castle, in your game, and by doing so, you can actually come to this point where you have all the assets around you being taken care of, right? And they're going good, which means you will feel better as well. Like, can you name a person who has actual real loving friends, loving family, good income, nice physique, and is feeling depressed? If yes, that's actually mental condition, I think. Because I cannot imagine such a person. I think that's that would be a special case. But usually, if someone, as I said, has loving family, loving friends, good physique, has money, they are not sad about it. I hope you understood. And I just don't know what else could I add possibly, because I explained you everything. And so if you feel like I should explain something even more, just let me know in the comments. But I feel like everything that I would say right now would be just me repeating myself. So I don't want to do that, because I already repeated myself a lot in this video. Yeah, but that is the mindset that I have about life and how I see myself. And as I said, this I could easily say, but it is literally keeping me alive, right? It's making me see the wider image of my life. And if one thing goes wrong, I know that there are multiple other things that are going right. Okay? Yeah. I hope you understood. I hope it actually helps you. And I think that nobody has talked about this kind of mindset on YouTube. So yeah. Probably I will record like a series of videos about it, because I genuinely think that it might be like helpful for many people to see the wider image in their lives. But for now, thank you for watching, and as always, keep pushing.